Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. We're talking Small Wonder. Hit it. It was 1985. Michael J. Fox was a teen wolf. Sade sang Smooth Operator, and a sitcom had a Megan, or Mithrigan, however you want to say it, 40 years before the movie. I'm your host, Jerry D, with another episode of Totally Rad Christmas, the podcast that talks all things Christmas in the 80s. Toys, movies, specials, music, and fads. If it was gnarly during Christmas in the 80s, we got it covered. Now, joining me is a Totally Rad Christmas All-Star and a brand new guest. My first guest you'll know as the Alamo City Santa. It's Jeremy Phelps. Jeremy, how's it going?
I'm doing great, Jerry. It's great to be back, and I'm looking forward to talking about this small wonder of a show.
Boom. All right.
I should have prepared something better.
It's good to see you again, man. It's been a while. But new to the show, from insert reference here, it's Caleb C. Caleb, what's happening, man?
Bite my shiny metal. Oh, sorry, wrong show. Wrong robot.
I gotta love some Bender.
This is an Advent calendar house. Wait, where am I?
No, it's no. Although I might be considered Advent Calendar House light. They do a lot more deep dives, and it's a much better researched show. But I'm glad to have you guys here. We have a doozy of a show to talk about. It's wild, even for the 80s. But before we do that, just like Carol Kane did to Bill Murray and Scrooged, I want you to hit me with the toaster. So I'm going to ask you a few questions and just hit me with the first answer that you can think of, okay? You don't have to think too hard about it. So, would you rather have a Vicki or a Megan?
A Vicki, probably.
I think Megans are dangerous. Yeah, I'd go with Vicki. She evolves, she gets taller with time. And
Yeah, that's true. And she's not as murderous, right? So
exactly. Now, if it's, one of her, like counterparts like Vanessa, she's a little more dangerous. But
well, that's true. That's true. All right, that's good. Let's say that Ted, the dad from the show, let's say Ted is George Bailey in It's a Wonderful Life. Which 80s sitcom dad would be his Clarence?
Jason Seaver.
Oh, yes. 1,000,000%. He's a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Gotta mention Growing Pains here somewhere else, or else I'm not on a podcast.
That's right.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be that one, right? Although I would like to see Tony Danza try it too, just to see him try.
I'd go with Coach from Cheers. He's kind of a father-like figure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take it.
I mean, either him or... Oh, shoot. What's the dad's name?
Frasier.
From Family Ties.
Michael?
That's the Michael Gross is the actor.
Michael Gross. That's right.
Something Keaton.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've watched that.
Alex is Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Right.
Why can't I remember this? Like I was just watching this the other day. I don't know. I know who you mean. That's fine. All right.
I don't know. I'm going to say... Is his name Frank? I don't think that's right. Let's call him Frank.
That sounds good.
You are 100% wrong. I mean, nothing you've said has been right.
All right. And finally, let's say you're spending Christmas with Vicki and the Lawsons. Would you rather trim the tree, go Christmas caroling, or go Christmas shopping?
I don't think I want to spend Christmas with the Lawsons or Vicki.
I would utilize Vicki to trim the tree because she does all the work. So
but that's fun. That's something fun to do.
Yeah, sometimes I'd want her to put up the lights on my house because I hate that.
Oh, as
I wouldn't have to climb the 20-foot ladder
for a living. I take offense. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care. Sometimes it does kind of suck. Yeah.
Okay, I just looked it up. The dad's name for Family Ties is Steven.
Steven. Duh, of
Not
course.
Frank.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think I'd rather go like, ooh, I think I'd rather trim the tree, honestly. Because I wouldn't want to go shopping out and about with her because I feel like if I said the wrong thing, it'd be weird. But also
Yeah.
like
She'll
she
end up
also
shoplifting or something like that.
something like that. Right, right, exactly.
I've watched a
Um,
lot of episodes lately, so yeah,
and
shopping can be dangerous with her.
and Christmas caroling I think would be dangerous because she's so monotone in most of her delivery.
Yeah, but she can be programmed to sound good.
That's true.
When she repeats what somebody else says, it usually sounds right.
Like a normal human.
Yeah,
Which
Well,
threw me off.
there's a
Which
first
threw
time
me
for
off.
everything,
I'm
right?
sorry.
it didn't happen a lot in this episode because this wasn't a Vicky centric episode. Like
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
some of the other episodes really go into about her. This was more about Ted. So
This
Yeah.
was about more about Ted.
And not about Christmas.
Well, yeah,
no, Christmas was kind of
spoilers.
there.
Yeah, it's
Kind
very
of.
little Christmas.
More so than the episode we were gonna watch, though.
Well, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that
I still
debacle as
watched
well.
it, so if we ever want to talk about
So,
that,
so did I.
I've watched all 96 episodes in the past few weeks, so
Wow, good.
I'm very sorry.
You were
It got-
good on
it-
you, sir. That's
it
VIP.
started bad, but it got better. It kind of grew on me. It had heart.
It does. I'll say that. I didn't belly laugh, but I did chuckle a few times at a few of the jokes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
me too.
Well, so that's just a way for our listeners to get to know you guys a little bit better. Now, tonight we're here to talk about Small Wonder. What do you guys remember about this show? Like, what's your history or experience with it? Why don't we start with you, Caleb?
Okay, so I was not born in the 80s. I watch a lot of 80s and 90s TV, and I kind of used this as an excuse to say, hey, let's watch an episode of Small Wonder, a show that I would probably not watch on my own intuition.
I understand. Yeah.
I did that, and I mean, it wasn't the worst experience I've ever had, but it was definitely, I guess an hour that I'll never get back.
The funny thing is, this is considered like one of the worst sitcoms like ever made, right?
Yes.
But apparently there was a lot of views, so I don't know if that's just because it tells you what TV was like in the 80s, or if people actually liked it. I don't know. What about you, Jeremy?
I have a different perspective than probably most people because when I saw this was a show to talk about, my first thought was, "Oh yeah, that girl came from my hometown."
Really?
No, no.
Oh.
It turns out she's from a town about an hour from where I grew up, and that's why I remember she was a local girl. But she was more from a town that we'd see if we were like at a big track meet.
Oh,
Or if
right,
it-
right.
Or if it was a big youth event for the Catholic Diocese of Sacramento, we'd get together with that town and a bunch of other towns around there. Never her, because she was probably already living in Hollywood at that point. Because
Right.
when that show came out, I was in high school. So I watched it a few times and never thought about it again until you brought it up.
So I'm actually kind of somewhere in between. I didn't quite watch it when it came out, but I knew that it was around. We just didn't watch it because my parents didn't watch it, so I ended up not really watching it. But I did watch little bits and pieces, like a few episodes here and there later on in life. This one I had never seen. I So, as I was doing research, I discovered that, in fact, the episode that everywhere online says is a Christmas episode is actually not a Christmas episode. And I have to thank you, Jeremy, for pointing that out to us because I didn't know that. I assumed that the episode that everywhere online says is a Christmas episode was, in fact, a Christmas episode, but it is not.
I only caught it because I was binging the show. So
Right.
and the thumbnail on YouTube for this episode actually had a picture of Jamie in a Santa suit.
Oh,
But the-
okay. Yeah.
But the thumbnail for the other episode had the people wearing their caribou hats because Brandon's a member of the Caribou Lodge, which
Right.
has nothing to do
Yeah.
with Christmas. It's just a coincidence. And that's the episode that aired in December. And this episode aired in January.
In January, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
January 16th. Which,
yeah.
yeah.
Good for them, I guess. But what a weird, what a weird time to air a Christmas episode. Although Night Court did air their Christmas episode in January as well. So, and that was the very second episode of the entire series. But
And some classic Christmas movies came out in the summer.
well, that's also
yeah.
true.
Die
So-
Hard, Miracle on 34th Street. Those were both, summertime releases. They're both Christmas classics. Well, I don't know about Die Hard, but some people, I think maybe you, Jerry, consider that to be a Christmas movie. But
Officially, I do. Personally, well, that's another matter. But
then again, I guess this episode is technically a Christmas episode, and it really isn't either.
and it really
So-
isn't either. Yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
We'll get into it. So the show was created by Howard Leeds. He also created The Facts of Life and Silver Spoons. He was a writer and producer on The Brady Bunch. It ran for 4 seasons from September 7th, 1985, all the way through May 20th, 1989. And basically, it just follows the life of this robotics engineer, Ted Lawson, who creates this robot modeled after a little human girl, and then they pretend that they adopted it, right?
Oh no, they legally adopted her.
Oh, did they really legally
Yeah.
adopt
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they forged some paperwork and went through the adoption agency and everything, so that she was technically legally their daughter.
Wow.
But every now and then, the adoption people would show up every few seasons just to make sure things were on the up and up, and led to hilarity ensues because Vicki would misunderstand something and repeat it. Kind of like the whole premise of this episode, but
Exactly.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, and yeah, this is something else. This was from season 3, episode 14. Here today, gone tomorrow. Not season 3, episode 13, Ooga Mooga, which literally every website on the internet that talks about Small Wonder Christmas episodes claims is a Christmas episode.
we're setting the record straight.
Yeah, yeah. So just in case you're wondering, the real quasi-Christmas episode was Here Today, Gone Tomorrow.
But I think I figured out the reason. I was looking through YouTube comments on the Ooga Mooga episode, which is just a fun phrase to say anyways.
Right.
And a lot of
Ooga
people
Mooga.
said that the Christmas specials wiki had it as a Christmas episode, and a few theories were that, or one of the main theories actually was the fact that they're wearing caribou antlers on their head, which may resemble reindeer
Yeah.
antlers. So that could be the reason.
That's not the first time they wore the antlers, though. That
Mm.
happens a few times. And and technically, caribou and reindeer are the same thing, but
True.
I guess they figured with the air date, someone figured that was enough, but they didn't watch the show. I don't know, because can you blame
Yeah.
them if they didn't watch the show?
I mean, so the robot is Vicki, which stands for Voice Input Child Identicant, which I've never heard identicant before. So
I
that was,
believe it's a
Yeah.
made-up word.
it sounds made up. Yes, for sure. But she can do, I mean, she has super strength. She runs on atomic power. She has an outlet in under her right arm and
That's right.
things like that. I mean, she's an AI, but this is an AI that's pretty advanced, although not quite as advanced as some of the other things that we'll see, Not Quite Human. I don't know if you remember that Disney movie, Not Quite
No.
Human. Yeah, so that was another android. Mr. Data from Star Trek Next Generation has a pretty advanced AI.
Yeah.
So, she has some flaws here and there.
But she was built in 85, so she was ahead of her time.
Maybe, yeah.
Data was built in the 23rd century or something. So, there was a major advantage
Yeah, true.
That sounds
and a
right
galaxy's worth of technology to help them get there.
to me. Positronic net or whatever
Because,
it is.
Ted had to do everything pretty much from his garage in secret.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
They never revealed her true identity throughout the course of the series because it never got a finale. So
Well, yeah, I would
It's
like to
Elf.
see,
Sorry.
yeah, exactly, like Elf. Yeah, I would like to see a new version, right? Let's pick up the series where she's an adult now and see what happens. There's got to be some crazy shenanigans with her dating,
I may get to something close to that later.
Oh, okay. All right. That's so yeah, this was an interesting episode. Let's talk about the cast real quick and then we'll dive into it. Most of the cast, with the exception of maybe Edie McClurg, most of the cast is known for this show.
And
Yes.
Edie McClurg, it was only on a handful of episodes, and I believe this was her final episode.
She was written off after season 2, yes,
Yeah.
with the exception of a
A
couple
few
here and there.
episodes. Yeah.
Yeah,
She went on to do Valerie.
yeah, she was in.
Oh,
It was Valerie, then it was Valerie's family, then it was the Hogan family, if I
Yeah.
recall.
Which was all the same show. We just
It
had
was
like multiple
right,
titles.
right,
yeah,
Because
right.
Valerie Harper left the show, so they had to
Yeah.
change the name. Kind of like
So
when
they
Roseanne left.
right, right. So, yeah, so of course she went on to do that. So she was kind of cut from this. But Dick Christie plays Ted Lawson, the dad. I didn't really reckon he was like on a bunch of other shows, but as you know, an episode or two here and there, mostly in like the 2000s, he joined The Bold and the Beautiful, and that's kind of where he made his claim. But I only knew him like if when I saw him, I only knew him from this show.
yeah. I mean, he just seems like one of those character actor guys. Like I've probably
Right.
seen him in a few sitcoms here and there. Just
Yeah.
he's one of
Yeah.
those guys that shows up and you're like, oh yeah, it's the dad from Small Wonder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's where you know it from. Well, same thing with the mom, Marla Pennington. She plays Joan. She was on that old show Soap. She played Leslie.
But this was pretty much the end of her career, though, was playing this role.
It was after this, she got married and had kids and actually just settled down. And that's about it.
Good
So,
for her. I mean, I wonder, like, if we did one of those, where are they now? Where would she be? You know,
yeah.
I mean, probably in retirement at this point, right?
Well,
I
yeah.
would think
Well, I know
so.
she married the son of Rowan from Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In.
Oh,
Mm.
And yeah, they had like, I think 4 kids together. And then
was this after the show?
this was after the show. Yeah.
Because she wasn't young then.
Well, you know, when you have your kids, you have your kids, I
I
guess.
guess so, yeah.
This Jamie is the son, and he was played by Jerry Supiran. I don't know how you pronounce it,
Something like that.
but either way, same thing. This was like his big break. He was in a few smaller like TV movies, but this really was his breakout role. And apparently, like an ex-girlfriend and advisor of his kind of took advantage and stole all his like trust. And yeah, it's pretty
Oh,
bad.
wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, poor guy. So he was the son, Jamie. Vicki, who's really the main character, she is the small wonder. It was played by Tiffany Brissett. Same thing. This was like really what she's known for. And at the age of 17, I believe she retired and now she, I think,
She's
teaches.
a nurse. She's a nurse.
She's a nurse. That's what it is. Okay.
Nice. Good for
That's
her.
right.
I actually
Emily
saw an
Schulman's
interview
next
with her from a few years ago. It was on YouTube, and
Oh, okay.
they did a they said hi to Edie McClurg and the mom, Joan. I can't remember what her real name was. And
Marla.
yeah, Marla Pennington or something like that.
Right, right.
Yeah, they just said hi, but they didn't say a whole lot to any. It was only like a 7-minute video. Actually, I think it was only like a 4-minute video from some old morning talk show. I don't even know where it came from. It just showed up on my YouTube feed because, once you watch 100 episodes of a show, you're going to start getting some stuff saying, hey, check this out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely can imagine. Emily Schulman, she's the one that actually teaches acting now. She was Harriet, and
Yeah.
I knew her most from Troop Beverly Hills
I'm here because my parents pay me to come.
with Shelley
Okay.
Long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's kind of where I knew her from.
think I've seen that movie back then.
Oh, I remember catching that movie. Like, we went to a friend's house for a sleepover, and we wanted to rent like a Chuck Norris movie, and his mom instead rented Troop Beverly Hills, and we were like, ah. And then like we watched it, and it was like, oh, that was pretty fun. And ever since then, it's been like one of my guilty pleasure movies. It's like, oh, this is a fun movie. So, so I knew her from Troop Beverly Hills, even though it's ridiculous. But Coach comes out in it, so that's cool.
Well, see, that's the age difference because, when that movie came out, you were still pretty young.
I was, yeah.
When
Yeah.
that movie came out, I don't know what year that came out, but I'm sure I was in high
It's like
school.
89, I think.
Okay, I was graduating high school by then, so I wasn't cared about a Girl Scout movie.
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah,
on my
yeah.
radar.
Oh, no, I get it for sure. Just 2 more people here. We have William Bogart was Brandon.
I hate that guy.
And Edie McClurg was Bonnie. They are the neighbors, the parents of Harriet, and they are obnoxious.
This episode
Yeah.
was, they were toned down on this episode. Some episodes, especially Brandon. Because
Brandon,
he's in a lot of episodes and he's a scum.
well, even in Ooga Mooga, the one that we thought was a Christmas episode,
Oh my god, I couldn't stand that.
he was something else. I was like, this guy. But anyway, so Edie McClurg, like we mentioned, she's been in a lot of things. Ferris Bueller, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
May I see your rental agreement?
I loved her in that.
All sorts of things. Yeah, she's great.
Little Mermaid. She did a lot of voiceover cartoon work. I think after this,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Little Mermaid. I think she was the mom on Bobby's World.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's the mom or was she the aunt?
Oh,
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It's
I
been a
think
long
the
time since I've
mom
seen it.
was, what's her name from SNL? Gail Matthews or yeah,
I don't remember.
I could be
Yeah.
wrong. I think she was on WKRP, wasn't she? Wasn't she Herb Tarlick's wife?
That's
Ooh,
right.
maybe. I don't. The only thing I really remember from that show is the turkey drop. So
Well, yeah, that's the best part of that series, I think.
yeah, exactly. That's what everybody knows
Yeah.
from that show. It could be.
Either that or the fact that the bicycle man from Different Strokes plays a major role.
Well, you got to get work when you can get it.
Was that very special episode?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I
That's
think it
what
was the one that coined the term very special episode.
Gotcha. A Small Wonder had a couple of those episodes too. So
Really?
this one, yeah, there was one couple of them dealing with a deaf kid, another kid with leukemia.
That was because that happens a lot. That's a big trope because I know
Yeah.
that happens also in Saved by the Bell and stuff like that. But okay, so let's just dive into this. This is a crazy thing. And Jeremy, I gotta say, you watched all episodes of the show.
And my brain is rotted. Yes.
Yeah, well, but you also did that for Quantum Leap. So, man,
This was a lot easier to get through than Quantum Leap because it was a lot shorter.
well, that's true. But
4
man,
seasons,
that's crazy.
20 minutes apiece. Yeah.
Good for you. I can't. I can't.
I want to
that.
know. I want to know. I get what you do a whole lot more shows than I do. I just do shows for you.
Well, that's true also. So let's dive into this. It kind of opens up where Ted's showing Vicki how to pay bills on the computer.
Years before the time.
Right. I was like, wow, good for him, guy.
I mean, he invented a robot child. I mean, the man probably could have invented ChatGPT if we let him.
I mean, he kind of did.
Yeah.
That's basically her AI, right?
And then he developed other AI systems later too, where they tried to take over Vicki. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, he created evil AI.
Is that like Kit and Car?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Wow.
He probably built Cyberdyne.
He's the director of special projects at Cyberdyne Systems Corporation.
Why him?
In a few months, he creates a revolutionary type of microprocessor.
That's canon. I'm gonna accept that as canon now. Ted Lawson started.
It wasn't Miles
Cyberdyne.
Dyson. It was Ted Lawson who started it first.
I love it. So he makes a comment.
I mean, if they cut off my credit, I am dead. And I'm talking Stiff City, huh?
This is probably the worst shallow premise they've had in 96 episodes of her taking something and running with it the wrong direction.
Yeah, this was bad. I mean, even like this is just bad writing, but
Yes.
Vicki takes it the wrong way. So she tells the bank because, they got their bill in the mail and so he was like, if my credit cards were ever to be cut off, I'd be dead. And so she tells it into the computer, cut off credit, he's dead. And that starts the plot off, that little misunderstanding there.
He also tells her to punch the computer, and she punches the computer or punches into the database.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean,
at this point, this is season 3, so presumably he's had her for at least 2 years. Feels like he should know how to talk to her,
exactly.
or he should have at least programmed idioms into her.
But then there'd be no joke. So you got to
Yeah,
go.
exactly. Well, yeah. No, I get it's for the the punchline, but also just come on, Ted. So
Oh, I get it. The punchline.
Oh, the punchline.
that's right. Not a punchline. But while all this is happening, Jamie, the son, decides to sell Christmas tree seeds to earn extra money.
It's gonna make me rich.
What's gonna make you rich?
Selling Christmas tree seeds. I'm gonna be on Lifestyles of the Short and Famous.
And so I don't know where he got these seeds, but wherever it was $29.95 for him for this whole kit.
With the suits and everything.
And
It's
it came
a pretty good
with
deal.
a Santa suit, a beard, and a Christmas tree costume to help you sell. And it came with a sales pitch ready to go on like a sheet of paper as well. It's like, wow, that's like a full entrepreneur kit, right? Like
Man,
that's a
that
full
was-
startup kit.
It was a cheap suit. It was made of felt.
It was a very cheap looking suit, and that beard
Yeah.
was one of the worst beards I've seen.
I've worn probably stuff similar to that to the one time I wore Santa the first time I was Santa at a wrestling show.
Well,
I
I imagine
I
is
borrowed a
different.
suit from somebody and it looked a lot like that one. I mean, that was the
Gotcha.
suit that inspired me to eventually do it on my own, but that was like a decade before. So
Right. But also, where's he getting these Christmas seeds from? Like, who's just selling Christmas tree seeds?
Just some guy off the street. Hey, kid, you want to buy a seed?
What is this? This is just dirt. Look at all these twigs from the earth. Man, 80s weed sucks.
because there was no internet,
Well, yeah.
so
Right, exactly. It was all mail away. So where was this? Where was he mailing it away from?
Back in the
Or
comic
you could have found it in like a magazine or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
or like you said, it was a guy like in the back of his trunk. You know, he opens it up. It's like I got Christmas tree seeds. I got
I got
beanstalks.
palm tree seeds, and you want? Hey, kid, you want some beet seeds? I got some beet seeds too.
Exactly. But Vicky's all in. She's gonna do it with him. I love that. And so the doorbell rings, and Vicky, they tell her to get the door, and she can do this thing with her neck where it like stretches. It was one of the creepiest looking moves I've ever seen, like quasi Mr. Fantastic, but without the fantastic. You know what I mean?
she gets a lot of powers she only uses once or twice, and then even though she could use them again, they never happen again. That
Oh,
next
yeah, but
thing
that is
happened a
syndicated.
couple of times, but there were times where she didn't look at the peephole when Harriet was on the other side of the door. I'm like, well, why didn't she stretch her neck?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Reminds me
Budget.
of another syndicated show, Out of This World.
Oh, that's another good one. Yeah.
I vaguely remember that one.
Does that have a Christmas episode?
I don't remember. I'll have to look it up. I'd have to consult my list. I don't remember off the top of my head.
I wouldn't doubt it.
But it's Harriet. Harriet, of course, is the neighbor kid. She's the daughter, like we mentioned earlier, of Brandon and Bonnie. And she has like a big crush on Jamie, which is like a running gag throughout the whole series, if I recall.
Almost
I
every
wouldn't
episode.
consider it a crush. I would consider it,
An obsession?
an obsession. It's like it's like if on Hey Arnold, if Helga unmasked in front of
Right. Or like Steve Urkel and Laura Winslow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she asks if like her dad can borrow a suitcase because he's a cheapskate, doesn't want to buy one, and he's going on like a trip.
And yet he's Ted's boss, so therefore he makes more money, but he has to borrow and rip off Ted whenever he can.
That's
He even
right.
stole a promotion from him. So
That sucks. I don't know how else to say that. That stinks.
yeah, he's a bad person.
Yeah. But she asks like if Vicky's folks have any problems. Vicky tells her that her dad didn't pay the bills because he's dead.
Yeah.
So
Just imagine somebody saying that when you open the door. Oh, my dad just died.
that's right. It's like, oh yeah. Well, what about your parents have problems? Because she's complaining that like her dad and her mom, or her dad doesn't want her mom to go on the vacation with him, or whatever trip it is. And so she's like, parental problems. Well, what about your parents? And then she's like, oh yeah, well, we didn't pay bills because my dad's dead. So it's like, whoa, okay, that's a crazy thing to say. But, so Ted's on the couch. Joan comes back from shopping and like she has this just fit. She can't believe it. Her credit was cut off. Like, how dare they? and she had to watch them back. This was back in the day when they would do this, like cut her credit card with scissors.
When I gave the department store a credit card, they cut it in half.
What?
Yeah, the man at the bank said that our credit was cut off.
You're kidding.
Honey, it was so embarrassing. There was this little kid behind me in line that kept yelling, "Mommy, Mommy, the lady's a deadbeat."
Which I remember them actually doing that. It's crazy how far we've come.
The problem, though, is her credit cards weren't any good, but yet when he goes to the bank later, the banker says, "Oh, your family's fine. It's just you who can't use your credit." So doesn't she have her own credit card?
We don't talk about plot holes like that.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even consider that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like good writing, but you know. But he's just like, "What are you talking about?" She's talking about how embarrassing it is, and it's just funny. But Jamie is Santa and Vicki as the Christmas tree, and I love that they're in these outfits.
Ho, ho, ho! Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! How do we look? Oh, Vicky's a tree. Oh, adorable.
They walk into the room and they ask for like advice on like selling. I love how they don't really give them like any good advice, you know? Like, what about ABC? Always be closing, or, you know, mirror the body language of the person you're talking to and tone and everything. Like, there's lots of good things they could do, but I guess they're not salespeople, so they don't know.
Yeah, watch out for dogs.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right.
There was a point when Joan did work at a boutique. But she was also a substitute teacher, which was most of the time on the show. And for a while, she had a real estate license, and Vicki sold their house.
Of course you did.
Yeah. Oh, Vicki. But anyway, they talk about look for suckers, and so they ring the doorbell and their own doorbell and try to get their parents to give them some money.
And they succeed.
And they succeed because they do hand them some money. You're right.
Yeah. And they call themselves a suckers. So.
Meanwhile, Brandon and Bonnie come in, you know, the Brindles, they come to check on Joan to see how she's doing because they think that Ted is dead because Harriet said so.
This exchange is horrible. I'm sorry. It is some of the worst writing I have ever seen in a TV show. It's not as bad as the exchange later at the bank, though.
It's like this classic mix-up trope, right? Where someone thinks they're talking about one thing and the other person thinks they're talking about something else, but it ends up like working kind of to each other's, well, maybe not advantage, but disadvantage.
It tells a story.
Right, exactly. And each one is coherent enough and can be understood within the context of each other's preconceived notions.
Imagine you learn that a loved one died because your credit card was cut at the grocery store. Like, what kind of shock would you be?
Oh, big time.
You're like, oh, he was just alive a second ago. What happened?
Yeah.
He drove me to the store.
Usually they send the kids to the market, though.
True.
They're too lazy to go to the store for their kids. But I guess back in the 80s, you could do that. You know, you don't send your kids to the store now.
Well, that's true. That's very true.
I mean, Walmart's too far for anybody to walk from my house, but
there's not really many shopping centers in walking distance anymore either. You know, everything.
No, but also like this is where we get the toned down Brindles that you're talking about, right?
Yep.
They're all
much
like,
mellower than normal.
How are you? Are you okay?
Especially Bonnie. Bonnie was a lot less Bonnie, but as they go on, Brandon is still the insufferable. Well, this is a PG show, so I won't give my true feelings on the man. I don't want you to have to edit the show.
Insufferable is definitely a good description of him. You're just he's obnoxious and awful.
I wrote down I hate him.
But you know, it's a classic mix-up trope. They think that Joan's upset about Ted's death, and Joan thinks that they're checking up on her about the credit card being cut off, and she's like, "Oh, it's no big deal," and she's being very flippant about it in their eyes. But she even says,
"No big deal. Life goes on."
And they're just like, "Wow."
Yeah.
They can't believe what she's saying, and so Brandon's like, "Well, can I still borrow Ted's suitcase. I'll come back later. It's fine. And she's like, oh no, it's in the hall closet. Go get it. And as he goes to get it, he sees Ted sleeping on the couch and think it's Ted's dead body lying on the couch.
Yeah, weekend at Ted's.
Yeah, for real. I would love if they weekend at Bernie's it.
Larry Lomax is dead.
That would have made this episode so much better. Oh, it's
we
great.
learned Ted actually is actually dead.
Right? Yeah, that would have been amazing. And
that would have changed the show, but I don't know if it gets Brandon out of there. You know what? Fine.
Yeah.
For real, that guy was something else.
He was in the last episode.
So Ted goes to the bank. This is now the Monday morning because it was like the weekend when this happened, and goes to the bank to speak with the credit manager, who looks up his account and tells him he's dead. He's, of course, flabbergasted, like, I'm not dead. I'm right here. And she's just like, look, it's in the computer. The computer's never wrong. And I was like, wow, if only.
Sounds familiar, right?
Like, if only they lived now.
Ted Lawson. Well, as far as I can see, the account is just fine.
Oh, great. Then the credit hasn't been cut off.
No. Mr. Lawson's been cut off. He's dead.
Dead? How is that possible?
Because the computer says he's dead.
Well, the computer is wrong. He is not dead. But I'll tell you what he is. He is angry.
I'd be angry, too, if I was dead.
He gives him a new form that requires a doctor's signature saying that he's not dead, that he's alive, and that she can issue new cards to the loved ones he left behind.
The fact that he's there and can produce his own ID should be enough.
I mean, you would think so.
Especially
right?
Since the way they reported him dead. I worked at Wells Fargo for a short period of time a few years ago. And to close off a dead person, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, maybe because, they learned from incidents like these, they had to, develop the proper way to do stuff. I don't know, but
I hope more than anything that Wells Fargo changed their policies on deceased clients based on this episode.
that wasn't brought up in my training, so I don't know.
Oh,
if
man.
They are in your office, shouldn't they be considered alive? Or, what is this? Just like, oh, here's this guy. He says that he's alive, but my records show he's dead. Is he just an imposter?
They should be able to check his ID, match his signature they have on file. But,
right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it seems like there's lots of different ways to prove that he's a guy he's saying he is and that he's alive.
But then we wouldn't have an episode.
We wouldn't have a quasi-Christmas episode.
Yeah.
That's right. So Jamie and Vicki come home after the neighbors sick a dog on them, which I do love. That's a good bit. I might be saying that later.
Chekhov's dog.
That's right. And Harriet shows up asking if she can help. Jamie offers her a partnership, but only if she'll buy him out. And I like that she sits on his lap, tells him what she wants for Christmas is to be Santa's little helper.
I've got a better idea. I'll sit on your lap, Santa, and tell you what I want for Christmas. Get off, Harriet. All I want is to be Santa's little helper. I don't need a little helper. I'll do anything. You can paint my nose red and put me at the front of your sleigh.
And it's like, whoa, pump the brakes here. How old are you kids?
Yeah, you're like, what, 10?
Well, this was actually one of the sexually charged episodes that didn't deal with Joan and Ted, because usually they're all over each other, which I thought was kind of odd for a show that caters to 12-year-olds. But they were always ready to go, talking about, let's go do this. And, it was all
kids go out and play for a bit.
Yeah, it was like, wow, these two are thirsty.
Well, but you don't expect that to be put in in like the lines of like a 10-year-old. So
that's not the only time they've sexualized the characters in the show.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Yes.
But so while all that's happening, Ted and Joan are talking in the kitchen, and he tells her he's dead. and they get a delivery letter from the insurance company for $100,000, which my first thought was take that back immediately because that's insurance fraud. So
Yeah.
you don't want to go to jail or be fined. So turn it in like right
Yeah,
away.
they never cashed it, so they were okay.
They were okay. Yeah, yeah. Spoiler alert, they don't go to jail.
And they process that check awfully fast.
They do. Well,
Yeah.
there are a few companies that'll pay out, really, really quickly.
But who reported them dead?
Well,
She did
that's the question. I don't know. I guess the bank? I don't know. Maybe.
Yes. Unless the insurance is through the bank.
Oh, it could be. Maybe.
I mean,
it is.
yeah, because my insurance and my bank are the same because I got USAA. So,
right. Yeah. But this is where Ted concocts like the most ridiculous, ludicrous plan ever. Like his plan is asinine. And the fact that it works is just a testament to how bad this writing was. And I say all this, I do really like this show. So I'm spoiler alert. But yeah, it's just a bad
Spoiler
plan.
alert, if I haven't already said it, I don't.
That's quite all right.
I enjoyed it, but I'll never watch it again. That's a whole other story.
Well, but you watched you binged the whole series. Like that's
over a few weeks. Yeah.
Insane.
You deserve a trophy.
I couldn't do that.
Or
I don't mind
committed.
watching it every once in a while, but so their plan is to host a fake funeral. And they even like have a coffin and everything. Like this is like a real full thing. They spent some money on this because coffins,
Where'd
even
they
back
get the
then, are not
coffin?
cheap.
They must have rented it, I guess. Coffins are us.
You can rent coffins. I do know that. That is a thing you can do. And there's actually a liner that they place the body inside, and then they just pull the liner out so that it's not actually like touching the coffin. But still, like that's no thank you. Hard pass. So, but yeah, they host a fake funeral. Jamie and Vicki come in, still dressed in their outfits, and they try to hawk their seeds, which I love.
This was another moment I could relate to because, as Santa, the last 2 years I've actually been Santa at a funeral home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the first time somebody contacted me through Gig Salad and they were just looking for a Santa, and I researched the address, and I wrote her back. I'm like, do you work at a funeral home? She says, oh yeah, we just like to have, we want to do like a little remembrance service at Christmas time and have Santa there. I'm like, well, I've never done it, but what the heck, let's do it. And
Why?
then last year I brought my Mrs. Claus with me, and we're planning to go back this year too. So for the most part, it wasn't too, we were in the area where the coffin normally goes, but there was no coffin there.
Right.
It was still kind of eerie feeling because when you come in, I'm bringing my gear and my Santa chair through the back door, and I'm walking past the hearse to do it.
Yeah, that's no. Oh man, I have thoughts.
But I like the people who hired me, so if they want me back, I'll come back. And
yeah,
I don't like to do corporate. I don't like to do corporate. Right? I don't like a lot of corporate events because some of them are like, I hate to say it, soul sucking events where you just sit there, especially when you're there doing nothing for 2 hours.
Yeah, I could imagine.
And me and my wife are just sitting there talking. At this point, we're just saying, well, this will get us to Disney World.
That's right. That's right.
But I'd much rather do the personal stuff. But if it's a recurring client, then I'm all for going back because that means they like me. So,
but like they're hawking their seeds, and there's that the bank, the account manager,
the bank lady.
She's there, and she's like, "Oh, these poor children. Yeah, I'll buy some seeds." And they're like, "All right, we found a sucker." And then later on, they mention how it's a whole room full of suckers, which is great.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Please, folks, buy some Christmas tree seeds from the poor fatherless kids. Only $3.95 a package. Help us send our dad to Stiff City.
Oh, you poor things. I'll take one, little boy.
We found a sucker.
Here's the thing. Don't say things like that in front of Vicki. She's just gonna repeat everything you say.
Well, and he asked like for sales tips. You don't say, here's a sales tip. Don't call your clients or your prospects suckers in front of their face.
Yeah.
That's like 101.
Or in front of a robot child.
That's right, especially in
You
front
don't
of
call your clients suckers when they're buying lights.
I do not. No.
When you convince them to buy the more expensive lights they don't really need. Oh, sucker.
Everybody needs the more expensive lights.
Oh, okay.
But Joan sends them upstairs, and the neighbors show up late. The Brindles show up late. They take their seats. Joan starts talking. She says he wanted a small ceremony with family, friends, and creditors, which,
yeah.
okay. And, to pay the last respects one at a time. Why? Like, why did they have to do that? Why couldn't he just get up and say, look, it's not really me at that point? Instead, she wants him to pay the respects one at a time. And the Brindles, of course, come back and tell him, like, hey, I still have your saw. And
Bonnie's like, I got the hots for you.
Basically, that's what she says, right?
There's something I never told you. I always had the wee bit of crush on you. You were always so much cuter than Brandon. But even now, you look better than he does.
She's like, I like you better than my husband.
Yeah.
You're right next to him.
Yeah. I guess they were whispering.
Yeah. This is like TV show whisper, right?
Yep.
Where they're not really whispering, but it's definitely an aside where no one else can hear.
Yep.
You know what would have been a better plan?
What's that?
If the coffin was in a different room and they each had to go in one by one, and he revealed himself to them or one by one for each person.
Yeah.
I mean, it would take a long time, but I feel like that might have been the better plan.
I mean, either way, like,
yeah,
this whole rigmarole is crazy. Anyway,
I don't see why this is going to convince the creditor, the bank people, even more than him walking in and saying, "Hey, I'm alive," but yet it works.
Exactly. I don't know why it would be more effective, but apparently it is. And he pops up and says, "Look, I'm alive," and the lady's like, "But the computer said." He's like,
"Computers are here to help us, not to replace our brains."
Oh, it sounds like something we would all say in 2025, right?
It definitely does. There's a lot of that. And the neighbors welcome him back. And of course, there's a little aside with Bonnie about, hey, don't, just forget everything I said.
Yeah.
And
Don't pursue me.
Yeah, what does he say? Like, how can I keep my hands off you or something like that? It's some ridiculous little bit. And he's just being witty and, sarcastic, but she just kind of giggles and runs away.
Yep.
But I do like how Brandon's like, oh, everyone's going to be so happy except Mr. What does he say? Grassi, I think. His dry cleaner who he promised to fix up with Joan.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, like this is a day after you found.
Well, but she said life goes on.
That's true. She wasn't even upset.
So I guess they thought, oh, maybe she's ready. The kids come downstairs, and this is where they admit that Vicki admits that she entered the info, and they realize, oh yeah, I forgot. I have to be careful when the human-looking robot's around. I have to be careful what I say.
Well, it just goes to show you, it's easier to come back from the dead than to get out of a computer. I wonder how it got into the computer in the first place. I put it in.
Vicki, you did? Why?
You said you were dead.
I didn't mean it that way, and you should have known better. Now go to your cabinet.
Gee!
And that's it. That's how it ends. You're like, oh, okay. Well,
the endings all kind of come out of nowhere for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wait, what? That's it?
Well, this wasn't any different. This was kind of the same. So
yeah,
I feel like that's a lot of TV shows in the 80s, though. Like
that's also true. There was a lot of that. Yeah.
Endings sometimes come out of nowhere. You're like, oh wait, it's over. That was the final line. There's not one more scene of, them unwinding after the funeral or whatever, or fake funeral, or.
Yeah, it's very abrupt.
It's like you need a little scene during the credits, like they would do on like Boy Meets World or something. Just a little afterthought at the end of the episode, which you never got on this one.
Right, like an end tag or something.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, that's it. That's the show. Emily Schulman did win a couple of awards for her role in this, so good for her. But
I guess she got on my nerves, but.
Well, but you also watched all 96 episodes. Which
that's true. As a 54-year-old man, not a 12-year-old.
Right.
I
exactly.
watched 2 and she still got on my nerves. So.
Yeah. So, what would you guys, if you could be in this episode, like a character in this episode, who would you be?
I wouldn't. I'm like, nope,
Uh,
I don't want to be an actor anymore. I'm done with Hollywood.
I mean,
uh,
I guess the one that comes out the best would be Joan. I don't
yeah,
know.
maybe.
Maybe Jamie.
Maybe Jamie.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I just want to be one of the guys at the funeral who didn't speak. I just want to be one of those extras.
That's
Yeah,
right.
why
People
not?
we'd never seen before or again.
Yeah. Yeah. That checks out. I'd rather do that. But what would you guys say is your happiest like memory or moment with either with Small Wonder in general or with this particular episode? And why don't we start with you, Jeremy?
Well, I'm going to go against Caleb's thoughts here. And my actually happiest moment of this episode is when the Brindles came over to console Joan and she was nonchalant, flipping about the whole thing. And, I got a real good kick out of that. But at the same time, to find a shining moment in this episode was difficult. So
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
watched better episodes.
Yeah, it wasn't their best. And
No.
I feel like Christmas episodes are like, in general, the slam dunk episodes, right?
Yeah,
They're so
usually.
easy. You just pick, you can do a riff on A Christmas Carol, you can do a riff on It's a Wonderful Life. I mean, there's Gift of the Magi, like tons of
Yeah.
different easy, low-hanging fruit options. And the fact that they instead decided to make it about Ted being declared dead was just weird.
Yeah. Because the better episodes deal with the kids.
But I don't think this is a Christmas episode.
Yeah. It just happened to take place near Christmas, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, but it doesn't seem like it's snowing outside either. I guess we don't get really an outside shot, but
I don't think it snows there. I think they might be in Southern California.
I think so too.
They
Yeah.
never say.
Well,
I don't think they
yeah.
ever say where they are, but the weather is always consistently sunny.
Well, we know because that's budget, but yeah, probably.
Well,
yeah, that's just the backdrop they use,
That's right. But we'll say the in story or the in universe rationales that they're in Southern California. I like that. Well, I'll
I'm
take
going to say they
that.
live in Phoenix. Let's be a little bit away from California.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. No.
What about you, Caleb?
Oh man. Sorry, static. Happiest memory. What? I didn't hear anything enough.
Well, while you're thinking, oh, go ahead.
If
Go
I had
ahead.
to pick one, it's not with this episode, but I told you I would get back to a Small Wonder reboot kind of situation.
Yeah.
And on the very first episode of my podcast, we had Adam Pope from the Retro Network on,
Oh, yeah.
a regular guest on your show as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about rebooting the show, like an elevator pitch for it. And the reboot actually sounded pretty good. If you want to hear more about that, listen to that first episode of Insert Reference here. I guess I'll plug that later, but still.
No, that's cool. Yeah.
Never hurts to plug your show.
No, but I know what you mean. Sometimes just coming up with like a good idea or just talking about something, even if it's something terrible, sometimes that's better than what you actually watch. So like I just released my Scrooge's Rock and Roll Christmas episode. It is not a good special like at all.
It did not sound like it.
But I had
listened
an
to it this
excellent
morning.
conversation. It was a fun talk about it. So,
I have that on my queue. I haven't listened to it yet. But
it's one of the worst specials. It's so bad, but also like it was fun talking about it. So I get it. I get why that would be yours. I think for me, I do remember like flipping the channels and seeing it and hearing this girl talking this weird robot voice and be like, what's going on? But then realizing that Transformers was on another channel.
exactly.
So, then just changing it to Transformers.
So
for
real robots.
For me, it would, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like if I'm going to do robots, I want some that are going to transform and fight each other. But no, for me, it would probably be just this conversation here, which is kind of a cop out, but also
That's an Anthony answer.
this was more fun than the actual thing. So
No doubt. No doubt.
But now we come to my favorite part of the show, which is a little segment I call Gag Me with the Spoon. This is where we do our best impression of our least favorite part of this episode here. As the guests, I'll let you go first. Just kind of set up the scene for us, and whoever wants to go first is fine with me.
Gag me with a spoon. I mean, that whole episode's kind of a gag. I think I threw up like twice. No. When he's at the bank, and the bank lady says, "I'd be mad too if I was dead." Which, okay,
Yeah,
that's
that
a
was a
horrible
bad
line,
line.
but
Yeah.
and then he goes, "See, I'm alive." Just starts breathing now.
He does
See,
start.
alive.
He does start. That's crazy. What about you, Jeremy?
For me, I'd always have to go with a Brandon Brindle moment, and he was a little subdued in this one, but when he showed up at the funeral, and he's like, "You call this a funeral? It's not catered. Where's the dip?" And Joan's like, "It just arrived." I don't know if I hated that moment, but I hated Brandon, so I had to, go with it.
Yeah,
So
no,
Yeah,
I get it.
exactly.
I totally get it. So I had two just in case, because these were both bad lines, and I was like, just in case someone picked one. The first one was Jamie, and I'm not picking on the kid, I'm picking on the writing, but this is when he decides he's going to sell the Christmas trees, and he puts the beard on. He says, "I'm going to be on Lifestyle of the Short and Famous."
yeah,
I was like, well, if you want to date like your show, that's going to do it there,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, it's been a long time since that's been on.
that's not the only time they've referenced that show on there.
Well, I don't doubt
That
it.
doesn't surprise
That was
me.
like a big thing back then, you
Yeah.
know. But the other one was I picked a line from Joan just in case, and this was when she tells Ted that her credit card had been cut off, and she's like, "Mommy, mommy, the lady's a deadbeat."
Oh yeah.
It's like, what?
I actually slightly laughed at that.
Yeah.
I did too.
I think I did too.
Oh man, but GI Joe taught us that knowing is half the battle. What do you guys think is the other half?
Renting a casket.
Well, if knowing is half the battle, the other half is not relying on machines and or computers or AI to get us through life, because look what it's going to do to us now.
Exactly.
Real talk, yeah. What do you think, Caleb?
I think I said mine earlier, or right when you said it, but I think I'm going to change it. The other half of the battle is making sure your bank has a better policy for when a family member dies.
For real.
That's pretty good too.
Make sure you go to Wells Fargo. Those are both better than mine. I thought if no one's half the battle, the other half is just programming your AI to understand idioms.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, come on, Ted. It's been 2.5 years, man. Like, you should know this by now. Oh, it's funny.
I think ChatGPT figured it out though.
Yeah, I mean, it understands it a little bit better. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But Ted did go on to create Cyberdyne, so I don't
That's
know.
true.
He based the Terminators off Vicki.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine?
I do wonder though, if you
What's
asked ChatGPT to like give you the premise of this episode of Small Wonder, what would it tell you?
Ooh, I'd be afraid. Like
I'm gonna do it right now.
Like I'm so afraid of AI like taking over the world that I'm like so polite to ChatGPT and everything just in case. Maybe it'll be like, "Oh, this guy was nice to us. Leave him alone."
Yeah, exactly. I try to annoy ChatGPT.
Oh no!
So you'll be targeted.
Yeah, I know you're gonna be one of the first
But
ones
like,
to go.
I don't think it's the annoy where, like, oh man, hey ChatGPT, hi. It's more of the, hey, do you remember this? Hey, do you remember that? Just to see if it actually knows. All right, the episode was called something.
Here today, gone tomorrow. And I had actually thought about doing a shall we play a game segment, but I decided against it.
Oh, you should.
I was like, I don't know if I want an AI commenting on a show about AI.
I would have. Well, we're already gonna have it, so you know what?
Yep. Caleb's duped us all.
All right.
Oh no.
And I also asked, how does Christmas tie into it?
Let's see if it figures it out.
It says, oh yeah, Small Wonder, the 80s sitcom, just like the prelude to the. All right, here we go. Ted Lawson, our friendly neighborhood robotic engineer father, gets a promotion at work, and SpaghettiOs, it means the family will have to move to Saudi Arabia. What?
That never happened.
I love it. So far, I'm more interested in that already.
Like, for real. Not just, hey, we're thinking about it. They're packing. Now this is a problem because Vicki, the voice input child identikit, aka the robot dog in Pigtails, is a top secret experimental android. Exporting Vicki internationally is a big no-no, like government conspiracy level illegal. She's
Wow.
not just a suitcase full of Cabbage Patch dolls. She's sentient microchip machine girl with a 500 mile per hour vacuum mode. What are they talking about?
I don't know, but
I think they're taking all kinds of little bits and pieces and messing them
yeah,
up from the
mashing it
show.
up for
There was
sure.
an
Yeah.
episode where a sheik from some Arab nation wanted to marry her, but
What?
yeah, that was one
She's
of those episodes that didn't age well because it was the '80s, so racial stereotypes were
right,
never
right.
Yeah.
handled well, and
Never.
fat shaming was a big thing. There was a
Right.
point where they compared Bonnie to the Goodyear blimp, and
Oh no. Yeah, it was a whole other time. It was the Wild West back then, man.
yep.
Guys, this has been
But
fun.
wait,
Oh,
it gets crazier from here.
okay, go
It
ahead.
says so. Ted and Joe decide that then rather to risk exposing the secret, they'll dismantle Vicky and leave her behind.
Wow.
What?
That's crazy.
Cue Jamie, the human son, being absolutely wrecked. He's got to say goodbye to the robot sister, friend, confidant, walking Alexa. And just to twist the knife, it all happened around Christmas time. What?
I love this. Let's make it happen.
I think it just created a Christmas episode
Here's
for us.
$50,000.
Yeah.
Make that episode. Guys, this has been a lot of fun. What do you want to plug? Like tell me about your shows or anything else you got coming up. Why don't we start with you, Caleb?
Okay, so my show is Insert Reference here. We talk all things pop culture. It's me and my co-host Fortino, who doesn't seem like he'll be on your show because it didn't seem like he signed up for anything. But if you
That's
want to
okay.
bug him to be on an episode, you know what, do it. Yeah, it's me and him, and we have a guest on each week, and we do fun topics. We have an episode coming out either this week or next. I should have most of the episodes that I've recorded up. Yeah, this podcast is just starting out. We have 2 episodes up as of the recording, another one coming in about a week or so.
Yeah, so insert reference here. Where can they find you on the socials?
I'm around. I mean, when this releases, Jerry will probably tag me in the post, and when you see that, yeah, you'll know it's me.
There you go. Jeremy?
If you want to catch J-Wave at ringside, I've got a show for River City Wrestling on August 31st. You can learn more at Catch the Wave Baby on Facebook and Instagram. And I'd say far more importantly, if you're looking for a Santa Claus in the San Antonio area, Alamo City Santa, that's .com, Facebook and Instagram. But contact me, and I would love to come visit you, especially if you're looking for a home visit or a Santa Claus sneak peek. That's something I really want to do a little bit more of. So if you're interested and you're local, contact me.
Another semi-plug that I just thought of, I will be farther along with this, and it will probably be up online somewhere. But I am writing I'm kind of done writing almost a script for a musical. And by the time this is out, it should be up online. I probably will have a website dedicated to it, but if I do, I'll send it to Jerry and he can link it in the post.
Yeah, for sure. Right on, man. That's cool. My brother wrote the book for several musicals, and one of them was pretty big. I know they put it on and everything. It was great. So
you're not into musicals, right?
I don't know what it is. I can't. Something about the musical style of it. Like the stories are usually pretty good. Something about like the style of music just turns me off, with the exception of a few things here and there. But like if it's animated or like with Muppets, like that's fine. But for some reason, it's
live action people doesn't work for you.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. They bother me. But like,
this is more of a sketch comedy show.
That's cool too. I like that also.
So yeah, what this is, I can kind of spoil it. I feel like I've said it I've said it on my show like twice, and then I think I said it. Well, actually, this is the only other podcast I've been on. I was going to say I said it on another podcast, but I realized no, that was when I had a guest on my show. But yeah, what this is this is a sketch comedy musical. So it's
Oh, that's
10,
interesting.
10 sketches, each riffing on a particular movie genre, and each of them has a song embedded in the sketch. So
That's
I have a
cool.
Western sketch, and we have a song. So yeah, it's also a
That's cool.
jukebox musical as well. So
I like it. I like it. It's whose line is it anyway? Oh, I like the way they incorporate music as well in their comedies. A little bit different, not really sketches, but kind of.
yeah.
So very cool. Make sure you, yes, hire Jeremy like crazy and go check out insert reference here. There's some fun Christmas special brackets and things like that that we talk about. So yeah, for sure. Go check them out. Guys, thanks again. This was a lot of fun. And I'm going to end it with I can't believe those neighbors sicking a dog on Santa Claus. So check us out on our social media pages, which you can find at linktree.com/totallyradchristmas. And if you're feeling like Ted getting his life and credit back, leave us a review on iTunes. It helps us reach more people and spread some rad holiday cheer. Now, don't forget to check out our merch shop on tpublic.com and our super dope website, totallyradchristmas.com. We found a sucker. Later, dudes.